If you wake up with high fasting blood sugar every morning, I need you to understand one thing that most doctors never explain. That number has almost nothing to do with what you ate for breakfast or lunch. It happened overnight while you were sleeping, and your liver is responsible for it. Most people living with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance in general wake up wondering why their fasting blood sugar is so high if they ate well the day prior. They cut carbs, they skipped dessert, they did everything right. And yet, they wake up with fasting blood sugar in the 140s, 160s, or even higher. Here's what's happening. Your liver is secreting glucose into the bloodstream while you sleep. It's called hepatic glucose output. And when it's overactive, no amount of clean eating at dinner time fully fixes it. But here is the good news. There are specific foods and one powerful plant supplement that's backed by clinical research that has the power to calm down your liver overnight, improve insulin sensitivity at a cellular level, and significantly move your fasting blood sugar numbers in the right direction, starting tonight. I am an exercise physiologist, and I have spent the last 10 years of my life fully focused on metabolic health. And today, I'm gonna give you a system, not just a snack, that actually addresses the root of the problem. We're going to cover why your fasting blood sugar is high in the first place and where that glucose actually comes from, the exact foods that help your liver stop overproducing glucose overnight, the snack combinations that work for most people and why, and which foods to avoid and why those foods make the problem worse. Stay with me because if you've been frustrated with high fasting blood sugar numbers, this is going to be your aha moment. Before I dive in, I know that many of you struggle with what to eat. You don't really know how to make your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. Don't worry, I got you covered. Just comment guide below this video and I'll send you free meal plans. These meal plans are going to help you reverse the root cause of the problem so you can finally wake up with better fasting blood sugar levels. Now, here's the main thing. Your liver doesn't know that you're trying to lower your blood sugar levels. It's simply doing its job. The problem is that it's doing too much of it. Let me explain what is actually happening to your body overnight. In a healthy, insulin-sensitive person, the liver stores glucose as glycogen during the day, and it releases just enough overnight to keep your brain and your muscles fueled. This is just a small, controlled trickle, and it keeps your blood sugar levels stable. But in people living with insulin resistance, which includes the vast majority of people with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, the liver becomes desensitized to insulin's signal. Insulin is a messenger hormone that is supposed to tell the liver,
Hey, stop. We have more than enough glucose over here.
but the liver stops listening to that message. So it keeps releasing glucose into the bloodstream at exponential rates, even when you don't need it. That is called hepatic glucose overproduction, and it is the primary driver of elevated fasting blood sugar levels. This is not the fault of the bedtime snack that you ate or the dinner that you had at 7 p.m. No, it's your liver. Period. End of story. Now, there is a second layer to this. As the morning time approaches, your body undergoes a normal physiological mechanism known as the dawn phenomenon, which releases a surge of hormones like growth hormone, cortisol, and glucagon. Those hormones tell your liver to secrete more glucose into the bloodstream to help you wake up. In a healthy, insulin-sensitive person, insulin handles this cleanly. But in someone with insulin resistance, it causes a significant spike. And this shows up as a high fasting blood sugar number in your glucose meter. So what is the strategy that we are going to tackle? Well, there's two things. Number one, improve your liver's sensitivity to insulin so it stops overproducing glucose overnight. And number two, support your muscle tissue, which is your body's primary glucose disposal system. This is so any glucose that does get released gets cleared efficiently in a timely manner. The right bedtime snack and the right supplement directly support both of these mechanisms. So let me show you how. The best bedtime snack isn't about satisfying hunger. It's about sending the right chemical signals to your liver before you go to sleep. Food number one, almonds. Almonds are one of the most metabolically useful foods that you can eat before bed, and the research is clear on why. First, magnesium. Almonds are one of the highest food sources of magnesium, and magnesium is directly involved in insulin signaling. When magnesium is low, which often happens in people that are living with insulin resistance, insulin cannot properly communicate with your cells. The signal gets noisy and the liver gets louder. A systematic review and dose response meta-analysis published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2016 found that magnesium supplementation significantly reduced fasting glucose and improved insulin resistance markers. The effect was strongest in people who were already deficient, which is the majority of people with type 2 diabetes. Second, almonds are high in healthy monounsaturated fats and protein. Both slow down gastric emptying, meaning that any carbohydrate that you have eaten earlier in the day gets broken down more slowly. And as a result, glucose enters your bloodstream at a controlled pace. No spike, no crash, just a manageable rate. A small handful of almonds, about 10 or so, is all you need. Food number two, walnuts. Walnuts work a little bit different than almonds, and that is exactly why they are very valuable. They are one of the few plant sources of ALA omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce systemic inflammation, the same inflammation that makes insulin resistance worse over time. Chronic low-grade inflammation interferes with insulin at the receptor level, and omega-3 fatty acids help dampen that noise. Walnuts also contain small amounts of melatonin, not enough to knock you out, but enough to support your body's sleep onset. And here's why sleep matters more than most people think in this context. Even one night of poor sleep significantly increases insulin resistance the next day. Cortisol flooding your system after a bad night of sleep tells your liver to pump more glucose all day long. Better sleep is directly related to a calmer liver. Food number three, kiwi. This one surprises a lot of people, but the research on kiwi is actually pretty strong. 2 kiwis eaten an hour before bed. Not 3, not 4 kiwis, just 2, have been shown in clinical studies to improve sleep quality, reduce time to fall asleep, and increase total sleep duration. The mechanism is serotonin. Kiwis are one of the highest dietary sources of serotonin, and your brain converts serotonin into melatonin. A randomized controlled study published in the Asia Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2011 found that eating 2 kiwis 1 hour before bed for 4 weeks significantly improved sleep onset, total sleep time, and sleep efficiency in adults with sleep disturbances. I tried this for myself and I measured my sleep with my Garmin watch, and I was actually very surprised at the results. I slept better, I slept longer, and I woke up more refreshed. Kiwis are also low in the glycemic index. They do not spike blood sugar, and they are high in fiber, which slows down glucose absorption even more. The vitamin C also supports antioxidant activity that protects your pancreatic beta cells over time. So, 2 kiwis and a small handful of walnuts is one of the most metabolically complete bedtime snacks that you can eat. Food number 4, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are worth adding to this list because they work on multiple levels simultaneously. They are one of the richest plant sources of zinc, and zinc matters here for a very specific reason. Your pancreatic beta cells, the cells in charge of making insulin, need zinc to properly package and release insulin. When zinc levels are low, insulin secretion becomes harder and glucose regulation feels unpredictable, even when your diet hasn't changed. Pumpkin seeds are also high in magnesium and tryptophan, the amino acid precursor to serotonin. So they're supporting sleep, insulin secretion, and insulin signaling all at once. A small handful, about 1 ounce, is way more than enough before bed. Now, there's one plant supplement that does something that no food can replicate. It basically walks directly into your liver and tells it to calm down. It's called berberine. And I want to be upfront about something before we fully get into this. We carry a pure berberine supplement at Jade Supplements. And yes, I am going to recommend it, but I'm not recommending it because it's ours. I am recommending it because the randomized controlled trial evidence behind berberine for blood sugar, specifically for fasting blood sugar, is more robust than almost anything else in the natural supplement space. I would tell you about this research regardless of whether we sold it or not. So what does berberine actually do? Berberine is a plant-derived compound that activates a very specific pathway inside of your body known as the AMPK pathway. You can think of AMPK as a master metabolic switch inside of your body. When you activate it, 3 specific things happen that directly attack the problem that we talked about at the beginning. Number 1, it suppresses hepatic glucose output. It quite literally tells your liver to stop overproducing glucose, which is the most direct mechanism to lowering your blood sugar levels in the mornings. Number 2, it improves insulin sensitivity in the muscle tissue. This allows for glucose to be cleared from the bloodstream at exponential rates. It basically turns your muscles into glucose vacuums. And number 3, it reduces the low-grade chronic inflammation that over time makes insulin resistance worse. And the clinical evidence on this is not subtle. A landmark randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Metabolism compared berberine to metformin, which is a diabetes drug, over 13 weeks in patients with newly diagnosed type 2 diabetes. Berberine reduced A1C by 2%, fasting blood glucose by 20%, and postprandial glucose by 28%. Metformin's reductions were comparable. That basically is a pharmaceutical drug being compared to a natural supplement and having similar effects on blood glucose regulation. That is very impressive. The mechanism that is most relevant to our bedtime conversation is the liver suppression effect. When you take berberine at night, which is when hepatic glucose production is at its peak, you are directly addressing the root cause behind that high fasting blood sugar number that you're waking up to. This is not a sugar blocker. It's not a stimulant. It's basically a metabolic signal that improves the sensitivity of your most important glucose handling tissues, your liver and your muscle, at a cellular level. If you want to learn more about our pure berberine, the dose, the timing, how to take it to get the best results, go ahead and watch this video right here in which dietitian Diana does a full dive into berberine supplementation. Now, let's get into what to avoid. Some of the foods that most people eat at night thinking that they are good for you: yogurt, crackers, fruit juice, are quietly raising your fasting blood sugar levels the next morning. So, number 1, avoid added sugars of any form: cookies, candy, flavored yogurt, chocolate, and fruit juice. Anything with added sugar spikes up your blood sugar levels quickly. disrupts your sleep cycle by triggering cortisol, and then causes a reactive drop in your blood sugar levels that wake you up in the middle of the night. This roller coaster is the opposite of what you need while you sleep. Also, avoid refined carbohydrates. White bread, crackers, pretzels, rice cakes. These act like sugar inside of your body. They break down immediately, they spike blood sugar levels, and provide zero nutrients that support metabolic health and proper sleep. They look innocent, but they aren't. Also, avoid heavy, fatty meals at night. Pizza, fried food, or anything else that is high in saturated fats. Even worse if you combine them with refined carbohydrates. These sit in your stomach for hours, interfere directly with insulin receptor function, and cause the reflux and shallow sleep that makes everything worse. Also, by all means, avoid late night alcohol. This one confuses a lot of people because alcohol makes you feel relaxed and sleepy, but it destroys your sleep quality. You simply don't get into deep restorative sleep. You wake up more often, and the worst of all, it impairs how your liver processes glucose overnight. Your liver has to prioritize metabolizing alcohol, which disrupts its normal glucose regulation. Then blood sugar becomes unpredictable and often high as soon as you wake up. And last one, avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. Coffee, black tea, some green teas, dark chocolate, and many sodas. So basically, if you have some of those drinks after 3 p.m., half of the caffeine still remains in your bloodstream by 9 p.m. This is going to delay your sleep onset, reduce your deep sleep, and keep your cortisol levels elevated, all of which directly impair your blood sugar levels the next morning. Now that you know what to eat and what to avoid, let me give you 4 bedtime combinations so you can start tonight. Option number 1, 10 almonds and 1 kiwi. Option number 2, 6 walnut halves and a small handful of raspberries or blueberries. Option number 3, 1 tablespoon of almond butter and celery sticks. Option number 4, a small handful of pumpkin seeds and 2 kiwis. For timing, it's best to eat 1 to 2 hours before your bedtime. Do not eat them right before you lay down. Now, let me be equally clear about what these snacks don't do. A bedtime snack cannot override a diet that is constantly driving insulin resistance. It cannot replace movement, so you still have to work out, do resistance training, and go on post-meal walks. And it cannot compensate for chronically poor sleep caused by stress, apnea, or other underlying issues. Now, if you need help with plans that help you reverse insulin resistance, go ahead and comment guide below, and I'll send you 3 meal plans to choose from. Your fasting blood sugar is not a mystery. It's your liver doing too much of its job because it's lost sensitivity to insulin signal. The right bedtime foods restore the mineral environment insulin needs to function. The right snack combination keeps blood sugar stable through the night so cortisol stays quiet and sleep stays deep. And berberine, backed by multiple randomized controlled trials, directly calms hepatic glucose output at the source. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Pick one combination from this video. Eat it an hour or 2 hours before bed and check your fasting blood sugar the next morning. Write it down and do it for 7 days straight and see what happens. Also, if you want to try pure berberine this week, go ahead and click on the links below where all of our supplements are listed. And as always, if this video helped you understand a little bit more about how to improve your blood sugar levels, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who might need the help. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.